Hey, what's up? It's Ben here. So today the market isn't doing too well, so I decided to lay low a little bit and lay off on some trades. And because of that, this just randomly popped up on my mind and decided to share this with you. Some of you might find this helpful and some of you might not find this helpful. And of course, I'm going to be talking about the dollar cost average calculator. And for those of you who don't know, it's basically just to project what the cost is, average cost of your trades, and also project what the total cost of your investment is. And the basic formula for this average, the dollar cost average calculator is the initial total cost divided by the current total cost, and that will give you your average total cost. But in this case, for those of you who are doing cash secured put or covered call, it's beneficial to find the exact projected average price, so then you could set your strike price as high as it could go or as low as it could go before you start breaking even. And I'll show you that later on and throughout this video to help you guys out. So without further ado, let me just go ahead and start crafting this up because I'm not sure how long this video might take. So for the initial investment, so what you want to do is just to figure out your current number of shares that you have. I'll start writing all this down right over here. And then the average price. And let me just fast forward this so then you don't have to, look at all of this and just stick around. I'll fill in the blanks right now so then you can just copy it as we go. Okay, so I went ahead and filled in all the blanks. You could design this however you like. You could put it whatever color you want or move whatever chart you want to do. But in terms of my example, I'm going to just basically do a really basic example. So current number of shares, right? So let's say you have just say 600 shares of something, right? You just have it that. And then the average price of the shares that you bought initially. So let's say I'm going to use a different example. And by the way, I have something like that on my right side of the screen. So if I'm looking at the right side, is just to see the total cost of something. So this is for, let's say this example is for a random stock, right? I'm going to put $16.94, right, for the costs. And again, if you want, your decimals, you just highlight all this and just put a little dollar sign right over there, and I'll change it to the decimals and with a dollar sign. So $16.94, and the total investments, again, if you guys are familiar with Excel or spreadsheet, to do the formula is just put the equal sign and then you do this cell times this cell, and then it'll give you the total price, your total invested amount. So let's say you bought some shares in the past and it was $600, 600 shares, and the total average price of the share is $16.94. Then your total invested amount is $10,164. So fairly simple, right? So then moving on to the next row, we have the number of shares being bought. So let's say you want to buy some shares later on down the road. Let's say you're gonna buy 100 shares, right? Gonna put 100 shares. And by the way, to make it a little bit nicer, let's go ahead and just move this to the center. So 100 shares. So current market price, let's say the current market price right now is, $9.56. I'll set it right there. And your total cost, again, you have to set your formula up for the total cost, equal this times this. And the reason why I do it like this is because when I change the value inside of these, it will automatically change for this. And I'll hit enter, and that'll give me my total cost. So which is my total cost that I'm pretending to buy, right? $956, right? So then the total number of shares, make sure to fill this. It's going to be this number, this cell, plus this cell will give me my total number of shares, right? And my projected average cost, this is a little bit, could get a little bit complicated. So what I'm going to do is going to put the equal signs right over here and do a parentheses right over here, and then it's this number, this cell plus this cell, and then close out the parentheses divided by this number and this cell, which is basically the total number of shares, and that'll give me my projected average price, and that's $15.89. So notice that if I have 600 share initially and were to buy 100 shares, then my projected average price, which basically averaging down, dollar cost average down, is $15.89. And this is beneficial if you're gonna do a cash secure put, or maybe a cover call later on, just to see where your break-even point is and to see what kind of strike you're looking for to buy. And of course, the projected cost will just be the simple equal sign, this sell times this sell. And so your projected cost, if you were to buy something, your total investment will be $11,120. So that's it. And again, this is not the total invested right here. This amount will not be your market value. This is the actual amount that you invested in. So let me give you another example. If you were to just decide to change out these numbers, right? Let's say you don't want to buy 100, you want to buy 600. And of course, this number will be simple to do, because if you were to buy 600, that's basically will bring down your average cost price in half. So let's say 600 right over here. And this number is the current market price is $9.56. So it should be the average, the halfway point between 16.94 and $9.56. So if I were to use this number, my midway point is 13.25, and that holds true. You could use your calculator to see if that's a halfway point. And of course, your projected cost will be $15,900 total amount that you're going to be invested. And this is beneficial again if you're just wanting to see what's the average cost is for your stock, and just to see how much the price is as well. So hope this is somewhat beneficial for you. I'll put a link down below for this template if you want to download it and you don't want to create it yourself. It's fairly simple to create, and hope you enjoy this. And don't forget, if you found this video to be somewhat helpful, feel free to give it a like and maybe consider subscribing for more weekly uploads like these, and I'll catch you all later.